Hello, this is Patrick Tycoon Jones here with another episode of 5 ways to manage your emotions in the business world. Folks, that's important. A lot of you are going to go from college. A lot of you are currently in the business world and your emotional intelligence might not be high right now. Okay. And any little thing can set you off. Well, we're going to address that right now. So let's get into the episode. Today, we're here with another episode, 5 ways to manage your emotions in the business world. Folks, I need all of you to have a high emotional intelligence. That is extremely important, high EQ as they call it, okay? So number 1, make sure you write these down, okay? If you don't have a pen and pad, make sure you're in your phone and you're jotting these down because this is something that you need to navigate your business career by, period. Number 1, identify what you are feeling and where it comes from. Now, let's just say you're in the corporate world. Your boss says something to you that rubs you wrong, okay? Now, is it because your boss said that? Or is it because of past potential trauma, a past potential experience is deeply rooted in you right now? So you're like, you know what? If anyone says anything to me, I'm going off. I'm not accepting it, right? So you have to identify within yourself where that negative feeling that makes you want to go off on whoever that individual is that maybe said something, maybe looked at you wrong, maybe stepped on your shoe, maybe did whatever. And now, yes, I'm going to blend in some of the worldly experiences with the corporate world experience as well. So we're going to blend the two because not only do I have people in the corporate world that watch me, I have people that are out there living life, in the world that watch me that are not in the corporate world. So I'm going to bring in all of those experiences. But why is it, right? What triggers you that makes you want to really go off? And now here's an exercise that you should all do. Write down 5 things that trigger you, okay, that other people will do. Maybe you're in traffic and someone speeds up and they're trying to get in your lane, they merge in and they're not going as fast as you want them to go. But all of a sudden you're going off, you're cussing, you're yelling, you're flipping them off, you're doing crazy stuff, you're acting outside of your normal self. Well, why is that, right? That causes me to question the emotional and mental intelligence of you, right? Of myself, of anyone, okay? So those are things. Again, write down 5 things that trigger you, okay? And then once you write those down, you know how to get in front of the trigger, so to speak, okay? Because you don't want anything getting you off of your square. You don't want anything getting you off of your game. You don't want anything getting you out of your element, okay? So that's number 1. Number 2, never make an impulsive decision based on emotion. Folks, all of us have emotion, and it's a fleeting feeling inside, internally, okay? You can see a color, and it can give you the sense of a happiness, right? You can hear a song, and it can make you feel sad, okay? So there's many type of impulses that will come in that can make and kind of sway your emotion, okay? So what you don't want to do is in the corporate world, something happens, right? You don't want to say, the hell with this, I'm putting in my resignation. Or you don't want to say, you know what, I'm going to HR for this. Or you know what, I'm going to his or her superiors for this, right? Sit down with yourself and your emotion and check your impulsive decisions, right? Because what you don't want to do is you never want to make a deal when you're overly happy, okay? And you never want to make a decision when you're upset or you're sad, okay? Or you're depressed. Because guess what? You never know when you make a decision, it can be life altering. And not only can it be life altering, It can impact your family. It can impact your kids. It can impact your boyfriend, your girlfriend. It can impact your living situation. It can impact whatever it is, all right? And then you may look at it and be like, well, damn, I wish I would have done that different. Well, it's too late now, right? The damage is already done. So check yourself and your impulsive decisions. Number 3, collect as much data as you can before reacting. So something happens, a new situation comes in, and now you're like, okay, I'm left with this feeling that I'm upset, I'm sad, I'm mad, I'm whatever it may be. Well, you need to now go into detective work. You need to collect as much data on the situation as you do why you're feeling a certain way based on the situation, okay? And when I say only, I mean only then you can make an effective decision once you have all the data. Once you have all the data, not only does it need to sit here, but you need to write it down so you can visually look at it. You can say, okay, well, what is this data telling me? What is this data that I've collected saying? Okay? Is it me? Is it the situation? Is it a past trigger? Is it a past trauma? What is it? Okay? That's something that you need to identify. And then once you identify, you can figure out what your response will be. Number 4, okay? Think, write, and recite your response. That's extremely important. A lot of you will look at this and be like, you know what? That's way too much work. I don't want to, yeah, I'll think about it, but I don't want to write it down. I don't want to recite it, okay? Your response. You don't want to do that. Well, here's the reasons why you should do that. First off, think. You must think about it because then you should be thinking about every angle, how it impacts you. If I do this, what will happen, right? Because there is a reaction to every action no matter how you look at it. So you should be thinking about that. Every decision that you make, how's it going to impact me positively and or negatively, okay? Write it down. Once you write it down, let's just say in the corporate world, there's an email, you didn't like it. Why didn't you like it? Well, it did trigger you in a way, okay? Someone added your superiors. They were saying something that didn't make you look necessarily positive. And you know you, man, you work extremely hard. You know, you're the best at your craft. Nobody can make you look bad, right? And then you write this email in response, and the email is fiery, right? With a bunch of attitude, and you're just gonna tell the person, you know, what you think of them. Well, this is what you should do. Type the email out. Then go on a 15-minute break. Go on a 10-minute break, go on a bathroom break. Then come back, take a couple of deep breaths. 6 deep breaths. In, out, inhale, exhale. And then read what you wrote. And then once you read it, say to yourself, does this represent me, my brand, who I am? If it doesn't represent you, your brand, who you are, okay, then you delete it, and then you type something out that aligns with you in the corporate world, your brand in the corporate world, who you are in the corporate world, your image in the corporate world, right? Always make a decision that reflects that, okay? And if you're not making a decision, if your email, if your response, if what you write down doesn't reflect who you are, then you need to scrap it, and then you need to go back to the drawing board, and you need to align with your true self once the emotions are gone, okay? Number 5, and this is the last point that I want to make. Remind yourself on why you accepted the job and role in the first place. Why? Because this centers you, okay? This brings you back to the center of who you are. Because the job, the role that you have accepted, it could be, hey, I just need extra cash. Okay, so if you just need extra cash, get your extra cash. Why are you letting a small situation knock you off why you accepted the role in the first place? If it is a career builder on your resume and you want to be there for 1, 2, or 3 years, don't let anyone knock you off of that 1, 2, 3 years. Your plan, your goal, okay? So why did you accept the role, the job in the first place? Maybe it was for a financial gain because it takes you from one level to another level. if it was that, folks, then you need to remind yourself of that, okay? And do not deviate from it. So if you deviate from it, guess who wins? They do. The situation does. Guess who loses? You do. Because you accepted that role in the first place. It is a pay upgrade. It is a resume builder. It is a position that you need to take in order to climb the corporate ladder. You're not going to be there always. You're not going to be there forever. But make sure you get exactly what you want out of the role, out of the job, out of the position that you wanted in the first place. And if you just accepted it just to be accepting it with no logic behind it, then I gotta question that in the first place, right? You're just out here doing things willy-nilly, and that's not how we move, okay? There always has to be a method to the madness, okay? There always has to be reasoning with logic combined on why you're doing something, okay? And that's it. So you know what I say, that concludes the episode. I need all of you to lock in with me because you know I'm locked in with you, and please share this with someone who needs the Tycoon knowledge. And until we meet again, folks, take care.